It's week 3, day 17 of my spinal rehabilitation. Quick status update. I'm still feeling the repercussions of my first session with my personal trainer on Monday. I'm quite sore, quite stiff. It's interfering with my sleep, and so I have my next session with him tomorrow, and so I'm a little worried about that. We're gonna have to back things off. I think he thought we were starting slow. He doesn't know me, and so we're gonna have to start even slower than he wanted to. Oh well, that's what it takes. So I'm gonna be assertive and tell him exactly what I need and why I need it. The symptoms are still manageable. I want to keep going forward, but I think we just have to go a little bit slower than he was intending. For my tip today, there's a concept in software development called continuous improvement. You could think of this as adapting to whatever happens in near real time. So you don't stay the course if the course is going to mess you up. So case in point, tomorrow I'm going to back off what I was doing with my personal trainer on Monday so that I don't die come the weekend. So that's adapting. I talked about my original plan at the beginning of my rehabilitation, and I've been adapting it ever so slightly and in sometimes major ways ever since I started. So that plan is actually not the plan I'm executing right now. It's somewhat different, and I'm going to detail some of those differences for you in a minute. One of the big differences is I've adapted to use cryotherapy. So I didn't really know about cryotherapy. I'd heard of it, but hadn't really studied it. And I was introduced to that by a guy in the sauna at the gym. And I took it up. I started taking cold showers, cold baths. That's a pretty big change, something I hadn't planned to do. And then in some other small ways, I've just been tweaking things as I go. I do like to go into the dry sauna, but I found that I can stretch in the dry sauna at the same time. So I kind of get a 2-for-1 there. So I've improved my efficiency. Another example that would be meditating in the cold tub. There's nothing really to do in there other than feel your limbs burn and have your body shake. So I use it to meditate. So I get another 2-for-1 there. I'm reducing inflammation in my body. At the same time, I'm conditioning my mind to tolerate adverse environments. So win-win, but I've just been tweaking things as I go. Those are just 2 examples. For the topic today, I'd like to talk about how I've changed my plan from when I started out. So you can kind of get a really good sense of what it is now versus what it was then. Right now, I'm pushing towards a 6-day on, 1 day off schedule. My 6th day is still kind of an in-between day. I'm not going all in on that 6th day. I do some things, but don't go all the way. If I do too much and don't give myself adequate time to rehabilitate over the weekend, or not rehabilitate, rejuvenate over the weekend, then I'm going to be in trouble. So here's how it basically is laid out. I've got 6 days where I swim and stretch. Every day I swim, every day I stretch. It doesn't matter. I do core workouts 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I lift weights 5 days. This is where I'm not quite going all in on the 6th day. I would do 6 days of weightlifting, but I don't think I'm quite there yet. So I'm doing 5 days of weightlifting. My Monday, Thursday schedule, which happens to correspond to the time with my personal trainer, is my back, chest, and shoulders. And then on Tuesday, Friday, I do legs, and on Wednesday, I do my arms. Eventually, when I flush out that Saturday, I'd have my 6th day. I'm going to go ahead and do another second arm workout. But for now, I'm just holding off on that and then trying to take it a little bit easy. And to break that down even further, I'm going to give you an exact itinerary of my Monday so you can get a sense of what I'm doing. It literally takes me 5 to 6 hours to complete this process. It's pretty involved, which is why I'm so grateful that I went dedicated. I wouldn't have the time to spend on all of these activities. A lot of them are preparatory and then recovery activities, not even working out activities. I wouldn't have time for that. And I think if I didn't do those things, I wouldn't make it. So this is pretty important to me. It's pretty important that I focus on this one thing and give it all that I've got, because it really is almost like a full-time job. It's in between a part-time and full-time job. So if you're going to embark on something like this and you have a way to do it, being dedicated is probably a good way to go. All right, so here's my Monday breakdown. At 8 o'clock, I go to my physical therapist. He has a hot laser there. We laser 3 points on my spine, the base of my neck, my middle back, and my lower back. That starts warming me up for everything I'm going to do that day. This step is pretty critical. Without that, I think I'd be having more repercussions than I'm even having right now. So 8:30, I take off from the physical therapist, head over to the gym. When I get to the gym, the first thing I do is drop into the dry sauna for 10 minutes. I'm not trying to sweat out my shirt or anything. I'm just trying to warm my body up for weightlifting, which is what's going to come next. Then I head upstairs. I do my weightlifting, maybe my core if it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I usually start with higher reps, lower weights, and work my way towards lower reps, higher weights with each set that I'm doing. So again, it's kind of warming up the muscles and getting them ready for heavier loads. You don't start out with your heaviest weight first. That's a horrible idea. I think it promotes injury and just isn't smart. Then I go into the hot tub. I'm already kind of warmed up, but I'm not necessarily full body warmed up because again, my weightlifting schedule is either upper body, lower body, or arms. That's not going to work everything. So I get in the hot tub for 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes, to warm up for the pool. And again, I just want everything to be warm when I go into the pool. Then I go swimming for about 30 minutes. I started out with some really easy strokes at first, breaststroke. Without raising my head, I have a snorkel and goggles and nose plugs. So I pretty much keep my head down and straight. I don't twist my neck. I don't lift my neck up. I don't hyperextend my back. I just swim. So I started with breaststroke because I can do that kind of all day long and it doesn't really bother me. But I've been working towards freestyle. And I've been moving more and more towards freestyle each 30. So it's the same 30 minutes, just I'm working out much harder now than I was when I first started out. From the pool, I head over to the dry sauna, and there I stretch. And I spend about 20 minutes. It usually takes me about 15 minutes to do the stretches. And then I hang out for another 5 minutes to get a really good sweat going. The idea here is just to get rid of all the toxins in my body, let out the junk so that I can drink a bunch of water, hydrate afterwards. Once I go get done at the dry sauna, I go over to my recovery center, and there I do a couple recovery techniques. It can be anything from a TENS unit to cupping to what I've called scrubbing. I've described that in prior videos. It just depends on what I can tolerate. Cupping, for example, is like every 2 to 3 days. You can't do it any more than that, so some days I just can't. Today I did TENS unit and scrubbing. And then I get into the cold tub. And depending on which day it is, I'll do 2 different variations on the cold tub. One is I just get in the cold tub and sit there for 15 minutes and meditate to try to tolerate it. The other thing I do is an hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold interchange. And the idea there is to move fluids back and forth in your body. So you get in the hot tub for a couple minutes and you get in the cold tub for 3. Hot tub, couple minutes, cold tub 3, repeat again. And the idea is that every time you get into the warm environment, all the fluids rush back out into your limbs and extremities. And when you get in the cold environment, they all come back into your core. So it's just moving fluids around. It promotes recovery, and it also reduces inflammation when I'm sitting in the cold tub for at least, I'd say like 15 minutes. I mean, it's a good stint. And I could go longer, but again, I'm not really inclined to push myself in that direction. I just want the inflammation reduction. I want to move fluids around. That's it. All right, so the slogan of my channel is to fight for your life. And part of fighting means fighting smart. You have to adapt and change things as needed so that you can continue to fight. If you don't do that, you're going to end up at a dead end and have to backtrack. And so as you go, make sure you're changing things pretty consistently. Little tweaks here, little tweaks there, every once in a while, a major change. But it's essential that you adapt and that you fight smart as you fight for your life. If you'd like to share ideas about how I can improve my workout schedule or things that you're doing that I might be able to adapt to mine, please comment in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe.